The unexpected meeting, a story of assumptions and second chances. The afternoon sun filtered through the tall windows of Riverside Bistro, casting golden streaks across the polished wooden tables. Marcus Wellington stood near the entrance, adjusting his tie for the third time in 5 minutes. At 34, he had built an empire in commercial real estate. But none of his business negotiations had ever made him this nervous. His assistant had arranged this blind date against his better judgment. After years of failed relationships with women who seemed more interested in his bank account than his personality, Marcus had almost given up, but his mother's persistent worrying had finally worn him down. Just one date, he had promised her, just one according to the profile he had been shown. He would be meeting Victoria Chen, a fashion model who supposedly shared his love of classical music and Italian cuisine. The photo had shown a striking woman with perfect features and an elegant pose. Marcus checked his watch. She was already 10 minutes late. The door chimed softly as it opened. Marcus looked up, expecting to see the sophisticated woman from the photograph. Instead, he saw someone completely different. The woman who entered wore a simple cotton dress in pale blue, slightly wrinkled as if she had thrown it on in a hurry. Her light brown hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, with a few strands escaping around her face. She carried a toddler on her hip, a little girl with auburn curls and wide, curious eyes. The woman's face looked tired, with shadows under her eyes that spoke of sleepless nights and constant worry. Marcus watched as she scanned the restaurant nervously, clutching a worn leather purse against her side. Her eyes met his for a brief moment, and something flickered across her face. Recognition, perhaps, or was it fear? She turned quickly, heading toward the exit. "Wait," Marcus called out, more out of curiosity than anything else. The woman froze. She turned slowly, and Marcus could see her hands trembling slightly as she adjusted her hold on the child. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I shouldn't be here." Marcus took a step closer, studying her face. There was something familiar about her features, though softer and more genuine than the polished photograph he had been shown. "Are you Victoria Chen?" he asked, though he already suspected the answer. The woman's cheeks flushed pink. "No, I mean, yes, sort of." She took a deep breath. "My sister is Victoria Chen. I'm Emma Foster." The little girl in her arms chose that moment to reach out toward Marcus, making grabbing motions with her small hands. "Lily." "No," Emma said gently, pulling her daughter back. She looked at Marcus with a mixture of embarrassment and defiance. "I'm really sorry. My sister was supposed to come to this date, but she had an emergency casting call in New York. She begged me to come in her place, just to explain and apologize in person. I know it was wrong. I know you were expecting someone completely different." Marcus stood there, processing this information. He should have been angry. He should have turned around and walked out. But something kept him rooted to the spot. "Why didn't you just call?" he asked. Emma shifted Lily to her other hip. "Victoria said you deserved a proper apology, not just a phone call. And honestly, I needed to get out of my apartment for a few hours. My sitter canceled, so I had to bring Lily with me. I was just going to come in, apologize, and leave. But then I saw you standing there, and I realized how ridiculous this whole situation was. And she stopped, looking down at her feet. "I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'll go. Have you had lunch?" The question surprised Marcus as much as it seemed to surprise Emma. She blinked. "What have you eaten today? You look exhausted, and I assume the little one might be hungry too." Emma's eyes filled with unexpected tears, which she quickly blinked away. "We had breakfast." Marcus recognized that answer for what it was, a polite evasion. He had seen that look before, in the eyes of his mother when his father had left them with nothing before Marcus had built his fortune. The look of someone too proud to admit they were struggling. "Please," Marcus said, gesturing toward a nearby table. "Sit with me. The reservation is already made. The food here is excellent, and I find myself curious about how someone ends up impersonating their sister on a blind date." Emma hesitated, clearly torn between pride and practicality. Lily decided for her, reaching toward the table and saying, "Hungry, Mama?" They sat down together, an unlikely trio in the upscale restaurant. Marcus ordered generously soup, salads, pasta, and some plain noodles with butter for Lily. As the food arrived, Emma's reserve began to crumble, replaced by genuine conversation. She told him about her life, about the husband who had left when Lily was 6 months old, unable to handle the responsibility of fatherhood, about the 2 jobs she worked, cleaning offices at night and serving coffee during the day, about how her sister Victoria had been trying to help her, insisting she could set Emma up with someone successful who might change her circumstances. "But that's not what I want," Emma said quietly, spooning a bit of pasta onto Lily's plate. "I don't want someone to rescue me. I just want to build a decent life for my daughter. Victoria means well, but she doesn't understand that I'm not looking for a prince. I'm just looking for ... stability. Maybe someday, when Lily is older and things are more settled, I might think about dating again. But not like this. Not under false pretenses." Marcus listened, genuinely listened, in a way he hadn't listened to anyone in years. There was something refreshing about Emma's honesty, her lack of pretense. She wasn't trying to impress him or manipulate him. She was simply being herself, tired, struggling but fiercely determined. What about you? Emma asked, carefully wiping Lily's face with a napkin. Why would someone like you need a blind date? You seem like you'd have women lining up. Marcus smiled sadly. They line up for my money, not for me. There's a difference. Emma nodded slowly. I understand that feeling, being wanted for the wrong reasons. They talked until the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the restaurant floor. Lily had fallen asleep in Emma's arms, her small face peaceful and content. Marcus found himself noticing little things, the gentle way Emma stroked her daughter's hair, the intelligence in her eyes when she spoke about her dreams of going back to school, the quiet strength that radiated from her despite her exhaustion when it was time to leave. Marcus walked them to Emma's old sedan in the parking lot. He watched as she carefully buckled Lily into a car seat that had seen better days. Thank you, Emma said, straightening up to face him, for being kind, for not being angry about the mix-up, and for lunch. Lily and I really needed that. Marcus pulled out his business card, then paused. Instead of handing it to her, he pulled out a pen and wrote something on the back. This is my personal number, he said, not my office line. If you ever need anything, a reference for a job, help with childcare, or just someone to talk to, please call me. And Emma, he waited until she met his eyes. I'd like to take you out again, a real date this time. No false pretenses, no expectations, just two people getting to know each other. What do you say? Emma looked down at the card in her hand, then back up at Marcus. A slow, genuine smile spread across her tired face. I'd like that, she said softly. I'd really like that. As Marcus watched them drive away, he realized that sometimes the best things in life come from unexpected places. He had come looking for a model and found something far more valuably, a woman of substance, integrity, and genuine beauty that had nothing to do with appearances. And for the first time in years, Marcus Wellington felt truly hopeful about the future.